starting to play Commander, you probably want it to get as good as possible. You buy all the cards you like if you have an infinite budget, or you make a more budget version, show up with some friends and hope to stomp them all, which you probably didn't do for like the first 10 times. But when you get used to your local meta, you make some upgrades with more expensive and faster cards. You maybe run into a few infinite combos along the way, because we Commander players, we really like the engines in our deck, and engines tend to get infinite pretty easily. And the first time you will get the infinite combo, it will be like an euphoria. It will be the best feeling you ever had playing a game. And you will want that high again. But you will never get it, because the more you play, the more consistent you get. And the easier the combo gets to execute. You will add tutors, you will add faster mana so you can get there easier. By the time you have won with these combos a couple of times, your local meta will probably shift a little towards more combo. Or they play more stacks to counter your combo. But if it shifts toward you all playing fast mana, less removal and more tutors, things will get pretty fast and not everyone will like it. Well, that's what happened in our group. We banned fast mana, except for Soul Ring of course, because that's a Commander staple. We banned tutors, or at least you cannot play too many tutors. We only play like 2 tutors in every deck. And we banned infinite combos, infinite mana, instant wins, all the shenanigans. This made for longer games, more unique games, because you would see lines that we didn't see before. We would all have increasingly more fun because of it, and we didn't look back until now. Because it got me thinking, combo decks and instant wins, all the shenanigans are like a staple in the Commander form. Whenever you go to a LGS or like a Magic convention, as you play a lot of Commander games, you will see combos at a lot of tables. This means most local playgroups have not banned it. And that got me thinking, why did we actually not like it? And is there a way to play combo that is fun for everyone? Well, no, because you're always gonna have the most fun. Winning the game on the spot usually doesn't add a lot of fun for your opponents, unless you went through some hurdles. This is usually where the fun and the magic happens, and where you play games that you will remember. I made a video about playing Control in a fun way. This is pretty much the same. It's about adding challenge to the table, grinding through a couple of hurdles, and then winning the game on the spot. So if you're playing combo, I would say don't play tutors. You can play fast mana, because that just makes for a more dynamic game. But don't play the tutors. This means you will have to have a lot of control or card draw. You cannot easily win by turn 3 or 4, but more like 5, 6 or 7. And yeah, increasing the difficulty a little bit for yourself means giving your opponents a little bit more slack and really adding to the dynamics in the game. So why is playing infinite combos or insta wins so bad? Or better yet, why is it so fun? Well, a couple of reasons. First of all, winning by combat damage means you have to have a lot of power on the board. You need to have a lot of creatures, you need to have enablers, you need to have finishers. This means a big part of your deck commits to winning the board state. Whereas if you only have a couple of combo cards, you get a lot of space for different things to do. You can add more card draw, you can add more ramp, you can add more interaction, and the game gets different from just everyone pushing their pieces on board, and the one that's doing it faster get to draw their finisher first wins. Whereas if you don't play tutors and you play a few combo pieces, the one that gets to draw the combo pieces first gets to win. But since you are not really committing the board, you could play more interaction. So if we are really looking to compare like a old-fashioned aggro deck versus a combo deck as we were discussing, we could look at this Kishav deck. As you can see, there are some board wipes. We are pretty low on removal. We are very high on ramp, very high on enablers, and there's a lot of finishers as well. There's quite some card advantage to make sure you hit your lands, and there are some protection pieces. So this deck is not going to interact as much. It's just going to ramp the first few turns, and from then on just be a total menace. But to really finish it, it needs enablers, it needs a couple of finishers. So quite a lot of pieces to really finish this game off. Compare that to a combo deck in Prosper Tomebound. That is just completely different. There is 22 pieces of card advantage, and I like to play without tutors. As I mentioned, we have 16 pieces of ramp and 6 pieces of which I like to call ramp harder. There is a lot more removal in 12 pieces. I like to keep my Prosper running quite aggressive, so removal is quite low, but you could up that of course. But we do have a couple of combos, so there are multiple win cons and quite an amount of cards to get to the win con. This means it's not CDH, it's not the highest power on casual games, but it is definitely fast, it is definitely doing a lot, and it is very, very different from just aggros or mid-range decks. So there is Rakdos the Muscle with a second outlet, a Viscera and Haunted Crossroads to get one card infinitely back on top, and then a Reckless Fireweaver to finish it off. We also have a Doomsday pile, so we get Final Fortune on top. The next turn we cast Jeska's Will, a Rain of Veil, then we cast a Twin Flame and a Dealcaster Mage. We also have what I like to call a coincidental win con in Revel in Riches, and just any board wipe. Fire Covenant will make sure you get there, but we also have a Delayed Blast Fireball. There are just so many card pieces that you are going to make sure that whatever threat there is, whatever pace your opponents are picking up, you're gonna get there. In short, this means playing the infinite combo actually makes for a more dynamic game, and it makes for a different game style being possible. Because if you have one really aggro player like a Dinosaur Tribal that really wants to stop, and we have a control player that wants to get to late game, now we also get a combo player that speedily goes through his deck, plays a lot of interaction and brings new pieces to the board. We really have a wider array of playstyles available, whereas if we banned infinites altogether, we eliminate the playstyle and thereby decreasing the amount of playstyles we get around the table, which makes for more generic games and less variety for everyone. So my 2 cents in this video, definitely allow it. I know I have definitely grown to be in favor of infinites returning to our table, but without the tutors, because with the tutors you take away the randomness, and that is what makes for such fun games of Commander. So I hope you liked this video and I was able to change your mind on playing combo decks. Maybe you dislike them just a little less, or maybe I really convinced you to build a combo deck. However it is, just let me know. I would really like to know how you are feeling on combo decks. In my last video about playing control, that could be really fun, there were a few people that were okay, you made some good points, but most of them were like, no, control just sucks because they counter my Sol Ring and my Arcane Signets on turn 1 or turn 2. Control players are no fun. Maybe you're still thinking this about combo as well, but I really do hope I get to change your mind at least a little. For now, thank you for watching, and I would like to see you in the next one.